Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? The selection for the Speaker of the House is being delayed once again, but you'd be surprised at who is causing the delay. In addition to that, we're going to talk about the fact that Iraq is on the verge of getting their full sovereignty, which is awesome for Iraq and a huge step in going in the right direction. Let's get into this. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. Shiite disagreements delay speaker election until after the Eid al-holiday. And that comes from the Sunni lawmakers. It says Iraq's parliament has delayed the election of the new speaker until the end of the Eid al-holiday in late June. This is coming from a Sunni lawmaker. The parliament has been unable to elect a new speaker since al-Abbasi was removed by the court last year. In the most recent vote, al-Asawi of the Sovereignty Alliance, led by Kanjar, received 158 votes, while al-Mesh and Dani of the Tukadom Alliance garnered 137 votes. None of the candidates secured the required 165 votes out of 329 to win. Now, just so you guys get things in perspective, Kanjar is supported by the Coordinating Framework, where Mashadani is supported by Barzani's people. Al-Shamiri, a member of the Al-Azim Alliance bloc, told the news agency that the election has been postponed due to disagreements between Shia blocs, not the Sunnis. She indicated that the Coordinating Framework forces are divided over the candidates. Yes, the Coordinating Framework. Remember I told you there was a lot of infighting happening in this up-and-coming election? When it takes place, Maliki has decided to leave the Coordinating Framework and go on his own because he thinks he'll do better, with some preferring to keep al-Mandawi as speaker until the end of the current session. She added that while there are difficulties in the Sunni political forces agreeing on a single candidate, the main issues lie within the Shiite bloc. This lack of agreement means the continuation of al-Mandawi, and this is what some of the parties in the Coordinating Framework actually want. The obstruction is due to the Shiite dispute over the speakership, not a Sunni one. Remember, the goal of the Coordinated Framework, especially Maliki, is to grab more control of the political forces and more control of Iraq altogether. The decision to end the UNAMI mission in Iraq is a major step for full sovereignty in Iraq. Said the United Nations is looking for another eye for Iraq and a follow-up to all political, security, social, and economic activities. Therefore, the transition is a merit for the Iraqi people and the political forces. He added that the government had a major role in the transition, which is a great step to prove that Iraq has become a different title and status, and the need for full sovereignty and dealing with the country on the basis of this entitlement. Abadi continued, Iraq has adopted a lot of decisions and so has done a lot of foreign relations, whether at the level of the countries of the Middle East or the countries of the world, in order to have a different role in the next stage. He pointed out that decision had become an important responsibility on the government to emphasize the right of the Iraqi people to be a growing and prosperous country, as Iraq today adopts a policy of calm in the region and proves itself. Yeah, there's no doubt that Iraq is growing, but I don't think it's because of the Iraqi government. It's more of al-Sadani and what he's doing, because we know that the Coordinating Framework ain't thrilled about a lot of these changes. So you can see right here, it says, the unanimously adopted resolution provides for the extension of the mandate of the mission created in 2003 for a final period of 19 months until January the 31st of 2025. Sudanese development path will restore Iraq's historic role in the global trade. So the Prime Minister al-Sadani stressed the development road project. So it's not just the development road project that is going to be major for Iraq. It's the Port of Fa. The combination of the two together is really going to open up Iraq to do a lot of international trade. Al-Sudani stressed that the Development Road project means, according to the current market equations and the international trade movement, a link between the East and Europe through Iraqi and Turkish territories together. So Al-Sudani, during an interview conducted by an agency, at the beginning we must historically look at Iraq's role in the trade between the East and the West for centuries. And I do not exaggerate if I say since prehistoric times, the land of Mesopotamia has been an easy trade corridor that commercial convoys prefer to follow its path, stand in trade with its cities and urban centers. He stressed that the development path is the restoration of this mainly historical role, and the link between the Port of Fall and the Turkish borders means, according to the current market equations and international trade movement, a link between the East and Europe through the Iraqi and Turkish territories together. The Prime Minister of Iraq explained that the region is witnessing conflicts and tensions that decline at one time and flame at another time. And this pushes us to the need of focused efforts on projects of intertwining interests and overlap in benefits. The development route will provide an opportunity for the emergence of industrial cities on both sides, which will be complementary to the trade passing through it. And later this year, we will launch the first docks of the Port of Fall, and the flow of goods through the development route will begin initially. He continues by saying all indicators, economic readings, and feasibility studies say that this corridor is the least expensive and fastest amongst the rest of the corridors. We do not say that it is an alternative, but regional and international trade really needs this path of development. It is a linked project and develops overlap in interests and the reasons for economic permanence. Turkey's President Erdogan, during his visit, said that with the development route running, the volume of trade with Iraq will rise from 20 billion to 30 or 40 billion dollars. So yes, the economy for Iraq, as long as there is no more conflict, should bring a lot of prosperity back to Iraq for sure. Iraq Parliament to approve 2024 budget with adjustments after talks. Said the initial proposal by the Prime Minister Al-Sudani set total spending at 211 trillion dinars, or 142 billion US dollars, with 62 trillion dinars allocated for employee salaries. This is up from the 2023 budget of 199 trillion dinars. Estimated revenues stand at 144.336 trillion dinars, while expenditures are projected to reach 210.936 trillion dinars, resulting in a deficit of 63.599 trillion dinars. That's a pretty huge deficit. So that's why Iraq needs to hurry up and develop other sectors that can provide income for Iraq. Parliament's Finance Committee is finalizing a report on the budget after lawmakers raised concerns about spending allocations. There are numerous parliamentary observations on the budget table. The committee is working on adjustments with the Finance Ministry. He said the Kurdistan Regional Government shares would remain unchanged, but adjustments will be made to ensure fair treatment for central and southern governance. A political consensus is needed before a vote. We're waiting for an agreement on the final report before proceeding. Proposals include financial transfers and expenditure adjustments to reduce the deficit. The committee previously confirmed it has no intentions on returning the budget to the government. So we're going to know more by tomorrow. We're going to find out whether or not they will pass the budget. And then we're going to know for sure whether or not there is a change in the exchange rate that you guys have been promised so many times by different content creators. Anyways, that's it for now. Leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. I'm out.